RenaeThaDiva, and we are here with Let's Talk About It. And we are a weekly show, just about weekly for the most part, where we actually come live and we talk to the forward thinking entrepreneur. So I have been on my business series. Tonight's discussion or tonight's episode will be about the home based business SWOT. If you don't know what that is, you definitely want to make sure that you stay tuned. So let's talk about our sponsorships, shall we? Let's get into it. So we want to shout out Yizer Media, which is our parent company now. They actually do a lot of marketing for me. So if you have been getting the inboxes or messages on my social media from Yizer Media or Yizer Marketing, talking about the grand opening of the store, the products that we have available, the fundraisers, make sure you participate if you can, and definitely read the literature that comes out because we have an electronic version of the newsletter that comes out. So we're excited about that. So if you would, you can go to code 1035. So it's code 1035.com. And you can see not only this show, if you don't get to see the whole thing, but you get to see the whole lineup of Yizer Media. Again, our media team is phenomenal. Shout out to Mr. Dwayne Abernathy, founder and CEO of Yizer Media Group, and all of the teammates and staff there at Yizer that work so hard to make us look good. We say thank you. Thank you also to, or shout out to one of our teammates there, Mr. Kenneth Brown in South Carolina. Shout out KB. Hey, shout out to my kiddos and everyone that's watching on all different platforms. So let's talk about it, shall we? Let's shall. So again, we are trying to help the forward-thinking entrepreneur. So if you have started a home-based business or if you're thinking about starting a home-based business, tonight's show is definitely for you. A lot of the information that I'm going to share with you, people will charge you hundreds of dollars for. I feel that I have been blessed, again, in the fact that, I get to share information with other people. I don't believe in not helping someone else do what they want to do or what they're passionate about. So that is my goal. That is my purpose. In the professional world, I am known as Renee Parker. Renee and Parker, to be exact. I am an entrepreneur and have been so for a number of different years. I have done several different things as far as businesses are concerned, and I still have multiple streams of income coming in with several businesses, such as I have a shoe line, I have had a makeup line, I have had a modeling agency because I did model. I still can if I choose to. I just have not done so in a while. I have had a number of different businesses. My current business is that I am an insurance broker, and I am very grateful for the opportunity. It does allow me to help other people. So I love what I do, and I'm passionate about what I do. Again, thinking about the forward-thinking entrepreneur. So if you are just joining us, please make sure that you do like, share, and follow on all the social media platforms. But please make sure that you go out and subscribe to code 1035. So code 1035.com. Make sure you create your profile. Our media teams will approve your profile. And then that way you can see not only this show, but you can see all of the Yizer Media lineup. So again, we're going to talk about the home-based business. So if you're just joining me, or if you have not watched my platform before, what I am doing is I am speaking on a series about business, especially home-based businesses. Today's economy is just crazy. It just is what it is. With all of the changes that we have going on with our government, even our government employees, I encourage people to think of something that is going to bring you joy, and also be a benefit to others if you can. As far as business is concerned, a lot of people are thinking about going into businesses, especially people that want to work remotely. So last week we talked about your home office setup or your office setup and some things you may need for your office. So again, please make sure you go back and watch the previous shows or previous broadcasts on code1035.com. So home-based business SWOT. So people are like, what is a SWOT, a home-based business SWOT? So let me explain that to you first. So let's go over the definition of what a home-based business SWOT is, okay? So when you are looking to start a business, and I'm going to be reading. Good evening, KB. I'm going to be reading a lot of information just so I can make sure that I give it to you correctly, okay? But when you're thinking about starting a business, you want to gather details about the industry that you're in or the type of business that you want to go into. This guide will select you, and what I'm going to give you will help you select or complete a comparative market analysis. If you don't know what a market analysis is, that is where you actually compare different businesses that are already functioning or operating in that line of work or line of business that you want to operate in. They are also already or have established several different things as far as like income. They have probably developed a niche. And it's not that you want to take over what they have done, but if it's working, you need to know that information because that can be something that you can model your own business after if it's working. And then also on the other side of that, you also can learn from their failures. So it's always great to do a market analysis before you decide to open your doors, no matter what industry you're going to be into, okay? So you make sure you have your industry category together. So you know what you want to do. You know your niche. You know your target market. And we'll go into more detail about the target market later. But you know exactly how you plan to grow your business and how you plan to have that be successful. That's all a part of your market analysis. You need to know if you had to have specific licensing. What that means is this. So by me being an insurance broker, I had to go to school to get my insurance license. I have to be licensed in my state, and I have to renew that every 2 to 5 years, every 2 years. For the state of Indiana, I have to take my continuing education, which actually goes over, new laws or changes in the rules for insurance industry regulations we have to follow, all to do with making sure that we are servicing the customer or the client the best way possible. We take an oath as an insurance broker or as an insurance agent. And then if, they work for a specific company, there's also guidelines and rules you have to follow with those kinds of companies as well. So again, it's always best to investigate and know going into it what your segment is going to be, your target market, your niche. So, and again, I'll use insurance several times throughout the night because again, that's something I know personally, but you can tailor it towards your specific business. So in insurance, there are several different niche markets or several different markets you can pursue in insurance. You can do life and health. You can do property and casualty. You can do Medicare, Medicaid supplements. You can do commercial. Again, there's a number of different ways you can kind of do. There's a saying that goes, you can be a jack of all trades, but master of none. You don't want to do that in your home-based business or your business for it to be successful. What that means is this. I'm not saying limit yourself, but again, you need to have a focus. You need to have a target market or a niche in whatever industry you're going to be in. Say, for instance, I'm a restaurant owner and I don't know as much about the restaurant industry because, again, I'm not in that market. But if I were a restaurant owner or if I was opening a restaurant, one of the things I definitely would do would be to scour the land, as they say. I'm going to know everything that's in that neighborhood that I'm going to open my restaurant in, or whether it's commercial or residential. I'm going to make sure it's properly zoned, which is part of, again, the marketing. I want to make sure that there's going to be plenty of foot traffic, things of that nature. That, again, is part of knowing your niche market because you want to know how successful or how you're going to make your business successful with these kind of things going on. Part of your market segment also goes over, again, your location, as we were just talking about. You need to think about the size of your location. If you're going to a physical location, is it going to be large enough or big enough to accommodate the type of business that you have if customers walk in? One thing I understand, but I don't encourage, is to have just a very small location if you are in the industry that you have to have people come to your office quite frequently. The reason why is because, again, if I walk into a business and I have no place to sit, there's just a desk and a chair, I might feel some sort of way, like you didn't want to accommodate me as your customer. Again, these are my opinions. You know, you may feel differently. The other side of things, the business side of things, is I understand that. I understand being able or having to go into a smaller location to begin with, especially because your overhead can be number one in what's going to drain your finances to begin with. Definitely understand. But again, what I'm saying to you is this: in your market analysis or in your segment, make sure that you are creating an office space. We kind of talked about this last week, creating an office space that is conducive to your type of business and conducive to customer interaction. Okay. Again, demographics play a part in your business SWOT, your business analysis. Demographics play a part because, again, you want to know who you're going to market to, their age, their gender, their ethnicity. You know, are you marketing to families? Are you marketing to single people? These are all, again, things that play a factor. And it's not that you're being judgmental. You're not trying to limit your business to these things, but you need to have a focus. Again, the word for today is focus. So that's one part of it also for the marketing or marketing analysis segment you need to do. Then again, you also need to think of consumer needs. What that means is this: does your business provide a solution to what you are doing or what people need? Solution-based. What that means, again, is this. Say, for instance, and this is big here in Indianapolis. I know it can be different throughout the regions. And Dwayne and I have had debates about this, but shout out to Dwayne. But anyway, so we have what we call several food deserts here in Indianapolis, meaning that there's not a grocery store in a 5-mile or walking distance for a lot of the residential areas. So if I were going to open a grocery store, part of my consumer need would be to make sure that people in this area, especially if they don't have transportation per se, or if it's public transportation, that is along the lines of being able to get there via public transportation or walking distance. I would make sure that my grocery store was in those areas that it could service a consumer need. Insurance is a little bit different. Again, I speak about insurance because I'm licensed in not only Indiana, but several other states, and I practice insurance in several states. So insurance, I can speak to the fact of opening an insurance brokerage. Now, me personally, I have chose to have a location outside of my home, but majority of the work I do is out in my home. Majority of the office work I do is in my home. If I need to meet a customer, however, I have an office that I can go to and have them come to that has a professional address. We have a receptionist that answers the phones Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. They are live, or 8 to 5. However, and then I also have on my voicemail emergency contacts in the event that they are in an accident or something, if it's after hours. That does two things. It allows me to be able to focus on servicing my customers, getting new customers, but also still maintaining a professional location that they can come to if I do need to meet them. People say, well, that can be expensive. Yes, it can. I have personally chose to do a shared or co-working office space, and it's more economical for me to do that versus having a standalone facility. If you're just joining us, this is RenaeThaDiva. We are talking about home-based business SWOT. We are on the marketing analysis segment right now. So we're kind of talking about that. So please make sure you do go to Code 1035, rewatch this if you haven't seen it from the beginning, and along the lines of all of our shows that are on Geyser Media. So again, if you're just joining me, thank you for joining. Hey. So, okay, we talked about office space and my choice in insurance to have an office space that I can meet clients at. A lot of times in insurance too, though, I am actually probably going to their location. So I'm probably going to their home, or I'm going to their office or their business. I'm a little bit old school, I guess you could say, with insurance. And of course, COVID did a number on the industry as a whole, or a lot of businesses, a lot of industries as a whole, whereas, people don't go out and meet people at their locations anymore. They don't go out in public, or there's no in-person interaction like it was before. I remember being younger and living with my parents, and their insurance agent used to come to the house all the time. And that was one of the things that actually just made me want to get into insurance also, is because he was with in Farmers for, I want to say, close to 30 years. He was just a dynamic agent, and he was very personable. So that's one of the things that I just appreciated about him as being an agent. When I started driving, even being a youthful driver, he really broke down the ins and out of our insurance policy to me. And that was very much something that was part of him servicing his niche market. So that actually, again, made me want to get into the insurance industry and, things of that nature. So again, consumer needs means that you need to have a solution for your business. So you need to have a solution for your consumers, whoever your target market is. Part of the SWOT also is, again, making sure that it is service ready or service available. So some may be familiar, maybe you're not, with the supply and demand factors. What supply and demand means basically is that, there's a need as a retailer or a person in business, you have to be able to supply that need to the consumer. Example, if I know that one of my customers needs a certain foundation, I need to make sure I have that foundation on hand, or I have access for them to be able to order themselves and get the foundation pretty quickly. Same thing with a shoe line, for example. A lot of people are visual people. Part of also having an office, depending on, again, your industry or a location, is that people are visual. People want to come in and be able to see, feel, touch whatever the products are. So this is also something that you have to consider in your home-based business SWOT. As your market grows, or as your business or your product grows, of course, there may be a need to expand. This is also something you want to consider when you're doing your home-based business or your SWOT. Then you have to consider the competition. Yes, it's a necessary evil per se, as they say, but competition can be healthy. What that means is this, and I've said this before, and people that know me and talk to me on a regular basis know that I say it all the time. What's for you is for you. It doesn't matter if 20 people are doing the same type of business you are. You have to think of something that's going to set you apart. That's, again, part of your home-based business SWOT, because you want to be known for standing out or being different than whatever's going on in the industry versus your neighbor that's doing the same thing or what have you. There are insurance agents a dime a dozen. There are plenty of companies you can work for to sell insurance. You can be a licensed producer for a major conglomerate like a Farmers or a State Farm or Indiana Farm Bureau, any of those. And again, for the disclaimer bandits that tried to tag my page, I'm not saying that I own any of these companies. Okay, I had to get that in the way because, again, last week's show, someone tried to put a claim on there saying that I was taking their business information, and I'm not. This is all public information as far as a home-based business and a SWOT. You can look it up again, or you can contact me. You can send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to send you a copy of SWOT and what kind of goes into it. Okay. So again, getting that in the way on Yizer Media, we don't have to worry about it because, we own the network. But on the other platforms that we use to get the shows out, they do try to censor us, or they try to put the disclaimers out there. So again, that's my disclaimer. It's out there. So competition. You need to analyze and dissect your business rivals. Before I decided to start my cosmetic line per se, I had actually worked for some of your major retailers like your MAC or your Estee Lauder, things of that nature. Again, I did those things because not only was I a model, but I loved makeup. I love to play in makeup. Though I don't wear makeup on a daily basis, I usually wear it when I'm modeling. I wanted to know about makeup. So my thing is investigating that. I had to figure out who my competition was. Is Mac my competition? Is Estee Lauder my competition? What have you. Again, disclaimer on the company names. They are not my companies. I'm not staking claim to owning those companies. I own Legacy Collection. That I can stake claim to because that's my company. But again, knowing who your direct competitors are, knowing their strengths and their weaknesses. So as I was kind of talking about earlier, you want to know what's working for your competition, what's not working for your competition, because again, you need to know that for your business. So say, for instance, if you're in a type of business and you have people going out and passing out flyers, but you see that your competitor has tried that and their flyers end up in the trash or flown out upon people's yards, things of that nature, then that may be something you want to consider not spending your marketing dollars in with the handing out of flyers. You may want to figure out a different way to do it, whether it's maybe even doing door knockers and put them in like plastic sleeves and putting them on people's doorknobs or in their mailboxes. And you have to be careful again with the mailbox marketing because some states it's outlawed, that you can't touch anyone else's mailbox unless you're a mail carrier. Again, knowing these things help. So you have to be cognizant when you're doing your marketing. Also, knowing the status quo. That's kind of what I'm talking about now. So knowing the status quo helps you keep in mind the mindset of other businesses and their target customers. You don't want to be known in the industry for stealing customers per se, or stepping on others' feet is an old saying that people used to say, or again, because there is probably enough people to go around, you can always make sure that you make yourself different and stand out by marketing your business for being just that, your business, different. So I think back to if you ever watched the Coming to America series. Again, I don't own the rights to that movie either, but the Coming to America series, whereas, there was McDowell's and then there was McDonald's. So you want to make sure that in your SWOT or your market analysis that you're not making your businesses that close together that people can't differentiate you from your competitor. Prime example, McDonald's. Again, not staking claim to that movie or McDonald's or any of the McDowell's franchises. Then messaging. How would your package be conveyed? So you need to have a logo design. You need to stand out. You need to have your own identity. Brand recognition is very important. When I say brand recognition, you are also your own brand. I am very cognizant and very careful about what I go out my house looking like. People are like, well, you're just being bougie or whatever. No, I'm very cautious because if people meet me or they see me in a business sense, they expect me to be one way or look one way, versus if they are seeing me in Meyer, they're not going to see me in my pajama pants. I'm just saying. They're not going to see me with a bonnet on my head. Again, because you never know when you are going to have to conduct business. Granted, yes, you do still separate your personal life from business, but again, you become your own brand. That means 24/7, you are your brand. Whether you are with your family and friends, or whether you are, again, in a boardroom, whether you are at a customer's home, you are representing yourself and your business at all times. We talked about this a little bit, but again, making yourself unique. So what advantages does your business have over your competition? Why will the company's services stand out and capture the market share that you're looking to capture? Those are things you want to consider again in your SWOT. So again, the SWOT analysis is a useful tool for evaluating the business by zooming in on its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and available and potential threats. So that's kind of like what SWOT stands for. Considering the following: strengths. So what strengths does the company have now, or how will these strengths evolve moving forward? These are things you want to consider. Weaknesses, the W in SWOT. What are the deficiencies in the company or the services? Which areas of the business should be improved first? And that's very important. The reason why I say that is because your strengths are a given. There's going to be something that you're strong in. Keep doing those things again, especially if they are working for you. But you also want to know your weaknesses. It's very important to know your weaknesses because of the fact of, in the event that you need to improve, which is you should. Okay, let me slow down. What I mean by that is this. Weaknesses are opportunities. If you think of weaknesses as opportunities and not a hindrance, you'll go far in your business. What I mean with that is also you have to change periodically in your business to be successful. What may work this year may not work next year as far as your marketing campaign, or what may draw people to come in your door, depending on, again, your business, this year may not work 6 months from now. So you have to have or be abreast of things that may need to be improved or changed. Example would also be, say, for instance, if you're spending your marketing dollars in one area and you had no return of investment on that. Most people refer to it as ROI. So they're like, what is ROI? Return on investment. So if you, say, for instance, again, did the flyers and you notice that you didn't get any calls from the flyers, you want to evaluate how you can make that different. You still need to market, but you just maybe need to market in a different way. So then do you do the social media posts? Do you do the advertising on platforms like Yizer Media? Do you do advertising on other platforms? Do you do print advertising? Do you do straight online advertising? Those are, again, part of maybe a marketing strategy that you want to come up with to help accommodate or consider or take advantage of a weakness that can become one of your strengths. Then there becomes opportunity. So opportunities, of course, hopefully come along very frequently in your business. You want to make sure that you are creating opportunities in your marketing, in your networking. So opportunities can help leverage the business partnerships and new innovations to grow the business. So with other segments of the industry, would your company consider entering in the future? So say, for instance, if you were a member of your Chamber of Commerce, is that a good networking source for you? Or say, for instance, would it be better for you to, instead of being a member of the Chamber of Commerce, would it be better for you to be a member of another organization? So these, again, things you have to consider with your opportunities. So it's areas to improve, going to new segments, creating or using industry trends, being able to offer new products, again, depending on your industry. New innovations and key partnerships are all part of your opportunities that you want to consider in your SWOT. Then the T. There are threats to any type of business, especially with, again, everything that's going on in our government right now. There may be threats to being an entrepreneur that you want to consider before you decide to open your business or while you're maintaining your business. So some threats considered would be, of course, economic movement. You have to also consider what obstacles you're facing. So if it's a matter of being a startup business, you don't have the clientele, or whatever industry you're in, maybe it's a pipeline that you're building. Maybe it's a matter of not being able to get in front of the target market or the niche market that you are trying to have service your business or have frequent your business. Maybe those are some obstacles that you may have or some threats to your business. Because again, there's no opportunity or no way for you to get in front of the key holders or the gatekeepers, getting past them or getting to those people that are actually the decision makers in the business, again, depending on your industry. Those are all things to consider. We talked about a little bit about political impacts. I'm just in prayer, and I'm not going to go religious per se. I will say, however, hopefully you're praying to somebody, because again, we are all in a state of wonder right now. with our current political state. So I'll say that and I'll leave it at that. I always say, I don't care who you vote for as long as you vote. Environmental effects. So again, we had a pandemic 5 years ago now. But what if another pandemic was to happen? Would your business be able to sustain or survive if another pandemic happened? That again can be a threat. Then there also are loss of key staff members, meaning that, say for instance, and Lord forbid, in insurance, I can share this, we have what we call key person insurance, meaning that if, you're in a partnership as being business owners, you can get an insurance policy on each other or for the business that if anything happens, that there will be a certain amount of policy that would help cover some of the expenses of that person being missing from the business. There are just a number of different ways you can do that. Of course, again, if you're interested in getting a key person insurance policy, no matter where you are, make sure you contact me. I'll be more than happy to help you or explain it in more detail. But again, if you lost a key staff member, would your business be able to survive? Again, it just depends on what type of industry you're in. You want to make sure that you have preparation in place that if anything happened even to you, if you are a solo proprietor or if you don't have other staff members other than yourself, or if you're leaving it, as a legacy kind of thing to a family member or friend, would that business be able to survive without you being involved? And then it goes to market demand. This also, again, depends on what industry you're in. Market demand is also very important because of the fact that you want to make sure that you can meet the supply, you can meet the need, you can meet the demand. Say, for instance, if you are in an industry that you actually have to wholesale or you have supplies coming in from different areas. Right now there are being tariffs put on to different countries. So that's something you want to consider in the event that you have the type of business that you actually have to get your supplies from outside of the United States. Will that really be detrimental to your business? That could be a threat. So I again advise you to complete these things before you actually go into business. But if you have already started a business and this is part of your business being ongoing or growing, you definitely want to complete a SWOT. I actually advise you, even once you have your business completed, to complete a SWOT at least once a year. If you can do it every 6 months, I would say do it every 6 months. Again, because you are looking at your competitors, you're looking at what's kind of working for your business, what's not working for your business, especially in the event that you are in types of industries that, are complacent or they are destined to be market driven. Again, a restaurant or some type of industry where there's very high traffic retail, does your business get slow at a certain time of the year? Is it easier for you to get walk-in traffic or people in your door in summer, spring, fall versus winter? Or is it the opposite? You have to accommodate for the off seasons, as they call them in some businesses. How easy is it for you then to accommodate the demand with the supply? Again, some other things to consider. So will your business be able to maximize opportunities that are given? What opportunities are you creating for your business today? If you don't have a 5-year business plan, if you don't have a 3-year business plan, if you don't have an annual business plan, you may want to reconsider that and you may want to get those things done. If you need to sit down with a professional to help you kind of market or do your business plan, I would advise you do so. If you talk to your local credit unions, your banks, especially if you are looking to get loans for your business, they will help you do your business plans. You also can contact your small business administration in your state. They have processes and programs in place that a lot of times they can help you do those things for free. Business owners don't take advantage of things like that for some reason or another. Maybe that they don't know about it, and maybe also that, uh, they weren't diligent in investigating the resources out there before they started their business. And that's okay. We all have done it for sure. But the thing of it is that we want you to be able to go forth and be successful entrepreneurs. So we are here to help you do that. That's why we are talking about the home-based business SWOT. What do you consider your strengths? Do you know what your strengths are for your business? Do you know what your weaknesses are for your business? Do you know what opportunities may be available for your business? Again, like your SBA or grants or loans, depending on, again, your industry. Do you know how long it will take you to become a profitable business? These are all things that are considered in your SWOT or your business plan as well. So you want to make sure that, again, you are aware of these things. Do you know, again, what the threats are to your business? What is it about your competition that becomes a threat, if anything? What other things become a threat to your business? I talked about a couple shows ago now, being a business owner and being able to service the community. But a great conversation was had, and I had to think of it from a different way. As a business owner, of course, you have a bottom line, meaning that, you have a budget that you must adhere to. You have a certain amount of monies you must make in order to be able to afford your mortgage at your home, or afford your lease payment at your office, or the mortgage at your office. If you have vehicles that you have financed, if you have a family that you are responsible for taking care of, you have a bottom line. So as a business owner, we know that we need to have a portion of whatever we have coming in be able to go towards that bottom line. I'm not saying mix or commingle your business funds with your personal funds. Get with a licensed, certified public accountant if you can, a CPA, as they're known as, or some type of professional that actually can help you set up your finances. You need to have a business bank account that is, again, totally separate from your personal. Now, if you are doing your business right, again, depending on the type of business you have, you can pay yourself as an employee from your business. Again, I am not a licensed professional as far as finances or accounting is concerned. I can tell you what worked for me, but I also use a CPA. It helps me tremendously. He's no longer mad at me because I used to, when I first got in business, have a big old garbage bag full of receipts. And I'd be like, here, figure this out. Thanks. But, in working with him for a number of years now and working with other professionals, I definitely learned ways to be able to track my business expenditures and get my finances in order. It's helped tremendously to be able to do that. And, understanding that realistically, the first year to 3 years, you're probably still going to be in the red. You may not very well be in the black, again, depending on your industry. So do you have funds set aside to be able, and this again is part of your market analysis, do you have funds set aside in your market analysis or in your budget or your business plan that will be able to sustain you the first 1 to 3 years in your business? These are all things that, again, are very important in your SWOT or your market analysis, and even in your business plan. A lot of people ask me, Renee, well, how come I can't get a grant? Or why is it that I can't get a loan? A lot of people don't understand that even in business, your personal credit plays a factor. Yes, there are companies or avenues that will say that they do not consider your personal finance. But if you're doing the application, or if you've done the application, guess what they're going to ask for? They're going to ask for your social security number, your home address, your name, your information. Even if it's going under your business or your business credit, they still ask for that information. Why? Because you become a personal guarantor for that business loan or that business credit card or that line of credit, whatever you've applied for. So your personal credit does matter. Whether they say it does or it doesn't, it does. If I were to go get an American Express card today for my business, guess what? They're going to ask for me to be the personal guarantor. They're going to ask for my name, my social security number, my home information. Because of the fact that, again, I become the personal guarantor. Yes, I may be the CEO of my company, and I am listed on the application or the loan as the CEO, but they also want to know that Renee Parker is going to be responsible for his Kingdom Enterprises in the event that I don't pay the bill or the business doesn't pay the bill. Okay, so just a little FYI, a little tidbit on that as well. So we have been talking about home-based business SWOT. If you're just joining us, this is Let's Talk About It. I am your girl, RenaeThaDiva. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you do go to code1035.com and subscribe, become a subscriber, a user where you can see not only this show rebroadcast if you are just coming in and you didn't get to see the whole thing. I think I gave some very important information about home-based businesses and SWOT. And we are here at Geyser Media very much for the forward-thinking entrepreneur. We are here to help you help you. So we are here to help, of course, help you be successful. And we want to be successful ourselves, of course, in our business. So we are just sharing things that have helped us along the way, and hopefully they are helping you. A lot of people will make you pay for their consulting services. So I am doing this as a service because I wish I had had someone like myself being able to share this information and doing it with passion when I first became an entrepreneur. I think, I won't say things would have been totally different, but they would not have been as hard to get to where I am now. So I share this because, again, I'm passionate about helping people help themselves. So please make sure that you like, share, and follow on all social media platforms. Make sure you go to code1035.com, subscribe, become a user. Again, you can see this platform as well. Hi, Natasha. Thank you again for your comments. If you do want to reach out to me, you're more than welcome to leave the information in the comments. You also can email us as a company at marketing@YizorTV. So it's YIZZORTV.com. And one of us will get back to you for sure. I am going to take a quick moment to go ahead and also mention our fundraisers. So I am going to put that up now. We do have several different fundraisers. We also have a new product in our Geyser market called poop powder. If you are a pet owner, whether it's a dog or cat or whatever, one of the main things people say is that they do not like having to take their fur baby, as I call them, or their pet out or on a walk and having to scoop up the waste from that animal in a bag and having to fill that and everything else, and then even having to smell it in your trash can, all that fun stuff. So poop powder actually is a natural additive, and it is safe for your fur babies, where it actually will allow you to kill the smell. It actually comes with a bag that you actually can use to scoop the poop in, and you can dispose of the poop in that bag, and you won't have, of course, that odor coming along with that. So if you're interested in getting poop powder, and again, we can ship this to you wherever you are, you can also go to Shop Geyser. That's shop YIZZOR.com, and you can get our poop powder. Another fundraiser that we do have going on is we are always trying to help veterans. Of course, Geyser does have a program where we actually help veterans against military sexual assault. That's one of our fundraisers. So you can actually purchase one of our Legacy Honor Bricks for $308.33. And everyone's like, that's such an odd amount, but it works. It's that amount for a reason. So if you go to shopgeyser.com, or you can call 847-232-9368 and press option number 4, and one of our marketing team members will be more than happy to take your order also for Geyser Legacy Honor Brick. And again, you can get your company name on there, you can get your family name on there, you can do a tribute or a memoriam to the armed forces. If you were a member of the armed forces, you can do a number of different things with that. So I encourage you to go to shopyizer.com and make sure you take advantage of that as well. So I am going to say, hopefully you have gotten something out of today's broadcast. I definitely heard that if you are listening to this on a replay, again, on Yizer Media or one of the other social media platforms, that you are taking notes. I am coming live. I'm trying to come live at least every week. Life gets to happening sometimes. So I do try to make it every week, however. And hopefully these things are, again, helping you become more forward-thinking entrepreneurs or helping you in your established business. If not, or if you have something that you would like for me to discuss, please feel free again to email us or make a comment. You can email us at marketing@yizertv.com and just say in your subject, "Let's talk about it," which is the name of this show, and say that, hey, Renee, would you please discuss this in business, for one of your show topics? And I'll be more than happy to review that to see if I can talk about that for you as far as business is concerned. If you, watching this, hopefully this has been helpful to you. Hopefully you can share this with someone else. Make notes. Go back and watch some of the other broadcasts on code1035.com to make sure that you, again, have been keeping up or are aware of the series with home-based businesses, or I am discussing not only home-based business, but businesses as a whole, and again, helping you try to become an entrepreneur. So I will say goodbye for now. Hopefully, again, you have enjoyed tonight's show. If you do have any questions or concerns, make sure you reach out. Make sure you also go to code1035.com and participate in not only this show, but all of our other shows. And thank you for listening. This is RenaeThaDiva. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.